What's up, Dream State fam? Thank you for tuning back in. I hope you guys are feeling good, feeling all right. Kiko, you weren't here for the last one. How are you?
I'm good. I got sick, so.
You
Oh,
did
no,
not
I
get
was in
sick.
New Zealand,
yeah,
Australia.
You were in New Zealand.
I was in New Zealand, Australia. Then I got sick, okay?
Yeah, liar.
Then I got sick.
Oh, you were sick there.
Yeah, I was sick there.
But we are so excited for our guest for episode 7. He flew hours and hours to come and serenade Guam for Valentine's Day. So we're just thankful that he had time in his schedule to come and sit down and talk with us.
He's a 5-time Island Music Award winner with over 600,000 monthly listeners. He's a crazy talented vocalist that blends his love of R&B and the vibes of reggae.
And you could call him Simone Chris Brown for real. Yes. but best of all, he is the nicest guy, and he's our good friend. And his passions for spreading God's love and his passion just for music is evident in every song of his. Dream State, let's give it up for our boy, FIA.
Let's go.
Yeah, what's up,
Hey,
man?
we made it. We made it.
Welcome back to Guam, bro.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to be here. This is my home away from home, man.
It really is.
It is.
That's how I feel when I get to
Like,
Hawaii.
I'm already part Chamorro. Like I'm part Chamorro.
Period.
Look at my skin, Par. Come on, Par.
I don't know, but if you were Chamorro, the fish wouldn't have bit you and freaking...
They did. Yeah, they got me. Those trigger fishes got me. Me and my
No
wife.
way.
Yeah,
Yesterday?
they tasted some palusami, some lau in the water, and they was like, "Yeah, we're getting that guy."
This is like your third trip to Guam? Or? Fourth.
Yeah, my fourth. I did one in 2018. Came out here for the Strong Bowl Core Fest. They had this new drink that came out.
That's right.
Casa de España, yeah?
That's right. Yeah.
And then I came out with
The graduation party.
graduation party,
Which
and then
is
this one.
when we played together.
last year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was the ones.
Yeah, welcome back, man.
Yeah, it feels good to be back, man. And I got wifey here with me now. So
Yup.
I really wanted to bring her on this trip just because I wanted her to see why I love this place so much.
Yeah.
Like, I really wanted her to see it. And right now, the fact that she's not here with me at this podcast tells you a lot. Like, she usually just stays with me. But
Yeah.
she's like, no, you go ahead.
Yeah.
I was like,
Period.
all right.
What is she doing?
She's probably at the beach. Just
Yep.
chilling out, dipping in the beach.
And then she has an appointment, yeah?
Yeah. She has a face massage.
Face massage.
I didn't know that existed, but it wasn't a face massage. It's called
It's a facial, I guess.
Oh, facial.
We're messing around like is it a face massage? I have an elbow massage, nose massage, you know?
Freaking boys, dude. Freaking boys
Yeah,
face
that's
massage.
us.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Besides going to the beach, like what are like your fave things to do on Guam?
Eat all your guys' food.
What's your fave?
Anything that has Denny sauce, right on the side. It doesn't matter what it is. But honestly, it's the parrotfish, deep
Yeah.
fried.
Did you have any this trip?
I did. At
Mescla?
Mescla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I
Right
know.
across the street. Shout
Yep.
out.
That was
Yeah.
fire.
But you know what? We're so thankful that you're able to come, and this is actually only our 7th episode, so this is
Oh,
like
nice.
fresh. This
we
podcast
fresh.
is fresh, but we're so thankful, and maybe we can start getting into like your origins,
Yeah.
like origins, because you
For
know
sure.
that's what everyone be talking about. So in your household, like what were you like listening to? What was being played?
Growing up, it was either gospel music or R&B music.
Mm-hmm.
If my parents were home, gospel music.
Yeah.
But whenever they would leave, then you pop out some Chris Brown. You pop out some Luther Vandross stuff.
Yeah.
We grew up on a lot of R&B stuff. I wasn't really introduced to reggae until I moved to Hawaii when I was young, really young. I was born in California, raised in Hawaii. So once I went to Hawaii, that's when I started to listen to the radio stations, and I heard different music. I was like, wow, never heard this growing up. But fell in love with it, man. The island reggae style.
I know, like it, especially growing up in Hawaii, growing up in Guam, like it's just you can't escape it.
Oh yeah, you can't.
It's there.
You can't. Yeah,
It's
that's
everywhere.
true. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you moved to Hawaii, you moved to Nanakuli, yeah?
Yep.
We were watching Big Body Cisco's podcast,
Uh-huh.
Western Conference, shout out.
Yeah.
And he was talking, you were talking about like it's kind of a little.
It's one of the less fortunate communities that a lot of people, they say. So Nanakuli is a city inside of another city. So it's basically known as Waianae. That's where like Max Holloway's from.
Yep.
And that side, a lot of people, you can, like when they talk about Waianae, it's like, don't go there.
West Side, yeah.
It's the west side, one way in, one way out. Like literally our roads is one way in and one way out. So over there, they talk about it to be like one of the most dangerous places to be on the island.
Yeah.
But really being from there, it's just people being protective over their place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you come in there with that attitude, like you think you run stuff or you trying to like disrespect the land, you know what I mean? Like leaving your trash all over, then of course, just like anywhere else, you're going to straighten it out, you know what I mean? But it's just, we're real passionate about where we're from and taking care of our people, you know what I mean?
That must have been good, like being an artist, like being from there too. They probably like, rep for you.
Oh yeah, bro. There's not a lot of us who make it out of that place, to be honest. We had my brother Langa Seville, who's from Nanakuli, and that's one of the guys who showed me the ropes as far as the music scene, man.
Goated, bro.
Yeah, that's my goat, man. Langa Seville is my goat. I met him when I was like 12 years old, and he took me into the studio, and I got to watch him create. And ever since then, like I would just go with him to the studio and just listen to the way he did things in the music, you know, as far as like harmonies. And what I love the most is, even though it was reggae, he had a high like value and influence from gospel harmonies and the way he arranged music. So it was very like catchy for my ear.
You can hear it in any of the vocal stacks in his records.
Oh yeah,
holy shit.
Yeah, he had a different ear when it came to that stuff, man, for sure.
That's like that ended up becoming part of like the Hawaiian reggae sound.
A lot of people started to add like heavy harmony. I mean, Fiji's been doing it for a while. You know what I mean? And it's just the way Langa took it. You know, he took it to another level to me. You know, he really took it to that next step where harmonies really complemented what you were doing in the song. You know?
Yep.
Even you mentioned on the podcast too, going back to like where you grew up, your hometown.
Yeah.
You said like even though despite all the bad things, you still said that you were still proud of where you came from, and
definitely
just stay proud in your community. And like, was music an escape for you? Did it keep you from?
It was. Music actually kept me off the streets. You know, I mean, I was in a group called H-Tray back in the days, like around 13 years old, and I was doing music professionally already, just like in the bars, in the clubs, singing. We were like a cover group band, and just being and doing that during high school kept me away from really staying back home on the streets and doing some of the stuff that a lot of me and my boys would do. And I mean, I had really good friends growing up. Those guys would always like tell me, bro, stay off the streets, dog. You know what I mean? Like, bro, just go do the music thing. And just to be out doing what I'm doing now and still being able to keep in touch with all of my friends back home, being proud of what I'm doing. You know, I represent them. You know, I represent all those people over there, and I just want to spread the love of what we have back in Nanakuli, on the Waianae side. Like, not only bad things come from there. You know what I mean? We're some good people out there, and one thing I love about our people is we're genuine. We're really genuine about what we do, you know, and how we treat people. So, yeah. Beautiful.
Even you said on the podcast that like you started singing, like you said, at 13 years old.
Yeah.
And then professionally, you've been doing it for 19 years.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So can you describe that moment, that first moment when you knew that you wanted to do music for a living?
It was when I got paid the first time. My first gig, I did my first gig. Mind you, I'm 13 years old in high school. You know what I mean? $100 goes a freaking long way, right?
It's a lot of cigarettes.
That is a lot because we had a monopool wagon. I don't know if you guys know what a monopool wagon is. It's a truck.
Shupao.
It's a truck that sells like food and stuff like that. Like, I don't even know if it's legal, but they do it a lot in Hawaii. They just sell food and stuff. But the monopool wagon would sell like cigarettes for like 25 cents. I'm riding out the monopool, man. I'm sorry, bro. But yeah, bro.
400 cigarettes.
No, but yeah,
for a couple weeks.
It was a good thing to grow up in Nanakuli, bro, because a lot of people there, you know what I mean? Like, they really go hard for you when you make it out, you know?
Yeah. What was your first gig?
It was at the Waikiki Shell.
Ooh,
actually, yeah. It was at the Waikiki Shell. We did a Labor Day Union. I still remember. It was the Labor Day Union festival that they did for like all the union workers in Hawaii. And H-Tray, we were a cover group. We went on right after The Green. The Green just came out at that time too. And yeah, when I first went on, got off the stage, the best part was when I got paid $100. I was like, did I just make this in like 30 minutes? They was like, yeah, this is what the gigs do. I was like, bro, I could do this for a living, bro. I could definitely do this for a living, for sure.
For reference, Waikiki Shell is like one of the biggest venues in Hawaii, and
it is.
For that being your first gig is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was sick.
Wow. And so eventually you did make it out. You played at the Shell. You go on tour. You're on tour right now. So like, and we just got off a tour last year.
Yep.
Yeah, with Mo'oli, and you thankfully you opened up for us.
That was legit.
Man, that was legit. Yeah, even having the Guam boys with you, and it's like being at home.
It was the best because during that tour, like this guy was out in the front every time to watch us, him and Elias, just for us to walk up, and he was like,
my worst student, man. My worst student. I wish I did it differently.
A blessing, though, bro. I really do appreciate that. You know, just taking the time to come out and sit out and watch us like that, bro.
Of course, you guys are family, bro.
Likewise, man.
Yeah. So like you've opened up and toured with The Green, Rebel Soldiers, Chloe Kai, Still Post, Catch a Fire, and most recently Mo'oli. And yeah, in the cards, I really wanted you guys to talk about like the run that you guys did together in Boots on the Ground.
Yeah.
Part 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was BOTG Part 2.
It was sick. I mean, as much as I loved what was going on and like the experience, it was what I got to learn off of what these guys were doing on stage. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think a lot of people talk about it, but man, my only show, that's standard now. Like that's, if nobody says that, then I don't know what you're looking at. Like, bro, like this is coming from a group that I listened to when I first moved to Hawaii, listened to the style of music and how much they've grown into becoming who they are right now. Like, bro, nobody should be hating on that. Like, bro, that's what it should be right there. Everybody should be shooting to do stuff like that with the visuals, the lighting, everything. That's a show, bro. Like, and after that tour, it made me go back and start to, you know what I mean, get on the chalkboard, bro. Like, plan stuff out. Like, make it, that's what you want, is, you know, be a showman.
Yeah.
You already have the gift of having a good voice and catching them with your music. Like, bro, go all the way, man. Give them the whole 9 yards, man. The visuals are crazy. These guys on stage are bro, nuts.
So how do you like touring though? Like, because I know it gets tiring.
It gets tiring. I love it because I get to see these places. You know what I mean? Like, God has blessed me so much tremendously just to be able to go out and do these things. You know what I mean? I love touring. It's just the hard part is I'm a husband, a father of 4. So being away from them, really, man, that's the only thing that's hard. Really.
I can only imagine. And so you've been doing it. You know, you've been doing this. She just got off her first tour.
Yeah.
10 shows, East Coast, West Coast,
10
opening for
How was
Eric
that?
Rachmani. Yeah.
It
How was that?
It was so cool.
Yeah.
It was so fun. Like the same thing as you were. Like I didn't want any expectations. It was just a matter of just really like learning
sure.
a lot. Just learning how I've never been. We went on like a Westpac tour with like the Crowns, and it was like a family thing. But this one with Eric Rachmani, it was like legit.
Yeah.
Where like you got the master tour, you got schedules, and you got all of that, and it was just like it was so cool because I never done something like that. Can you maybe describe like your first tour and who did you open up for?
My first tour was with Rebel Soldiers. I actually was in talks with my brother Mike from Rebel Soldiers. Me and him have always been close. He's one of the reasons why I actually got in, like, to really do music full time. He took me on this tour, and I just came out with "Come Around and Love Me," and I got to sing my songs halfway through their set. So I was actually on the headliner set.
Dang.
Yeah, it was me, Ellie Mack, and Rebels. But it was really cool, man. You know what I mean? Like coming from the west side of Oahu, you know what I mean? Like to seeing the world like that, it was one of those things where you're blessed to do it, and you feel the blessings of being there, being able to do it. But it's one of those things, like, you know, God makes no mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I wanted to, like, be myself, be humble, and do what I do, also to show people that I'm meant for this. You know what I mean?
And
While I'm out there.
You are, and you're showing people, you're showing everybody, literally the world, man.
And then I feel like anybody who's, you know what I mean, like being on your first tour, you know what I mean? Like, there's no mistake, you're there. You know, you're there for a reason. Your gift speaks for itself. I've heard you sing myself. You're amazing. Like, you know what I mean? What I love, too, is, like, not only being a person who makes good music, but actually has the voice to carry a set, you know, and do stuff like that. So it's always good to run into talent like this, you know?
Yeah.
So what year was that first tour?
2018. Like, literally months after I released my first single.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's like
Come
pretty
Around.
fresh.
I released Come Around, my first single, in April 2018, and I did the tour in October. Wow. Yeah.
And how do you feel like do you feel like you've come far since then in your sound, your performance?
Definitely. Just learn more of really embracing yourself, being myself. You know what I mean? Being in the scene, you learn a lot of things, and when you start to learn a lot of things, sometimes you think you have to sound like certain things. You know what I mean? And you tend to fall away a little bit from your style. And throughout the years, I learned to just stay true to myself. And just like, there's a reason why I stuck out when I came out. And I don't ever want to lose that. You know what I mean? So it took some reprocessing, you know, just rethinking the process and really digging into myself, you know, investing in myself.
Please don't lose that. I feel like that's what the audience loves to see from you, man.
For sure.
Like you're never, you can tell you're never faking it. That's just you.
Yeah.
That's just you. You got
that's what I try to portray on the stage. You know, just being on the stage is like, that's why this Valentine's show that I just did over here, like, I wanted it to be like that. Come out and like talk to the crowd. Like, I want you to connect with me on a personal level and show you that, I mean, even though I do music, I'm just like you, dog. You know what I mean? I can be a clown. You know what I mean? We're genuine people. We can connect on this personal level. You know what I mean? I just get to release music for you guys to listen to. That's the only difference. But really, really, we're the same people, man.
Yep.
Yeah. And even I feel like you and I can really relate on that. Just like we talked in the intro, where grew up in Hawaii, grew up in Guam, and it's just like it's hard to escape reggae. It's hard to escape it. It's everywhere. It's like it's inevitable to, like, even on the radio you put it on and it's on. But even when I started with KPV and the homies, even up till today, I don't have any reggae song in my set. You know, we're a cover band, but I have no reggae. No reggae at all. It's not that like, I also don't listen to reggae either. Like I didn't grow up with it. Only when you go to the family parties and it's there on the speaker, then it's like, okay, cool. But how was that like joining the scene in Hawaii and like knowing that you love R&B so much, but then like with the scene, you kind of have to add in the reggae and the
it was a learning process for me because in the beginning, I still want to do R&B. Like to this day, I love R&B music. So I remember I had a conversation with Fiji on Valentine's Day. I think it was like around 2019. I did a Valentine's show, Telegram with Kaipu Kapua and Tunes, Moananu from Rebel Soldiers. And we ended up meeting up the Crab Shack after for we were with Fiji and them, and we're just hanging out. And me and Fiji had a good conversation one-on-one. And he's just talking about like my sound, what I want to do. And I told him I want to do R&B. Like that's my style. That's all I know.
Yeah.
And in a good way, he said, well, you're in the wrong place. You know what I mean? And when we got more into details of what we were talking about, like why he chose to do reggae, talking about like our people, our Polynesian people, it gave me a really better picture of, you know what I mean, why he's a legend, you know what I mean? He could have easily went mainstream, and our people are everything, you know what I mean? We got our Polynesian, our Polynesian people. So me choosing to do reggae was just be doing something to show the people, especially my Samoan people, like, bro, we all can do it. You know what I mean? Like, we can do it. We can do anything we want to do. You just got to have the mindset and the drive to do it and have a reason to, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of us go off of motivation, and sometimes you lose the motivation, but you just got to be disciplined. You know, just stay locked into what you're trying to do and the goal, you know, just what it is that you really want to bring out and bring forth. And for me, with my music, I always want to be genuine. You're never ever going to catch me talking about partying and, you know what I mean, getting out to the clubs. I mean, I really don't do that. So you're always going to catch me talking about some kind of love song, you know?
Yeah.
That's all I know how to write, to be honest.
That's a perfect segue because we wanted to also talk about the newest album, Never Give Up.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you just gave us the whole synopsis of the album right there.
Yeah. So Never Give Up that album meant a lot to me. That song, Never Give Up, I actually started writing that song for my nephew who was in college in Iowa, in Dubuque, Iowa. And just like how he's one of the only ones in our family who really left the family to go do that. And I was very proud of him. And in that song, I'm talking about him like being in new places, trying new things. And, you know, like there's times where you're probably going to want to come back home, but never give up. Like keep doing it. And I could never finish the song. The second verse never could come to me, and came to a point where I realized like I was talking to myself too. Because I caught myself in a place where I went through a whole depression phase at one point, like 2 years ago. Kind of lost myself in a little bit, you know, with the way the music industry can be. I mean, you're in the music industry, and, you know, it can be a little grimy sometimes. But just staying true, you know, to yourself, and I had to find myself again. So I took a little break off of music for a little bit, and that's when I came out with the Never Give Up album. And on that album, there's probably 2 to 3 songs that were just written before I released the album. The rest of them were written when I was a junior or a senior in high school. So like 2010, 2011. Wow. And I didn't want to change anything from the songs. Like you could tell like when you listen to some of the writing and stuff like that, like I was very wordy with my stuff. And that was because like I wrote that when I was like 15, 16. And I wanted to show them, the listeners, that this is the young FIA. Yeah. And it was my way of getting into my new stuff, like, you know, the growth and stuff like that. But that Never Give Up album was definitely something that I wanted to share with everybody.
Yeah. And then there's even, you have one track where that is produced by our own homegrown local boy, Cam. It's Threat, right?
Yeah, Cam did Threat. He did I'm Yours. He did another one. Yeah, he did 3 on top of there.
Yeah, 3?
Yeah.
Dang, that is so sick.
Yeah, Cam is, man, shout out to Cam Kanata, bro. That guy's a...
Shout out.
Yeah, that boy bad, man. He a bad man. It's one of my best students, yeah.
And you're one of my worst, so that says a lot. Damn.
And what are your favorite tracks off the album?
I would have to say Never Give Up, of course. But as far as the other tracks, it would be Escape. Escape is a song I had Pono, Mr. Shant. He jumped on that one. And that one was a cool vibe. That was produced by my boy Pana. Yep.
Oh, wow.
That one has more of like the mainstream Chris Brown vibe to it.
Yeah. He has some connection to Guam too. He's produced a couple tracks for 4 Piece.
Pana?
The local boys, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, super sick producer. Lickle Jordy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pana's done some crazy stuff, man. He's the one that produced Never Give Up too.
Oh.
Yeah, Never Give Up was Pana.
Yeah.
Dang.
I love tuning into his Instagram lives.
Yeah.
He's got the whole like streaming setup, and you can see
yeah,
his
the way he
Ableton
produces and
session.
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super
He's
cool.
taking all my moves, man. That guy. Taking all my moves.
You usually do it for like dance classes, though, yeah.
Yeah. Nah, but I retired from that. I retired.
So on the new album, you can totally hear your R&B influences.
Yeah,
your,
for sure.
Yeah. Do you like want to make it a point to make sure you get that through?
Not really. I think it just comes out naturally because that's just the way I write and the way I pick melodies and stuff. Yeah. And it's not until after when I start to listen, a lot of people start to like, when they listen to it, they tell me like, oh, this has like that R&B vibe. I'm not purposely trying to do that. It's just that's the only way I know how to write and make melodies, to be honest, yeah.
Yeah, especially growing up in your household and it's gospel and R&B like
that.
that.
Yeah, and when you're the youngest, I'm the youngest of 9 siblings, so.
So you have no say in the music either,
no
huh?
say. You just listen to whatever's on the radio. I try to change the Baby Shark, bro. No.
I know you have one brother also named FIA. Are there like 4 of you?
There's like 12 of us. Nah.
So then even in your household was gospel and R&B. So did you grow up singing in church too?
Yeah. Yep. My whole life, we had no choice. We had to go to church. You know what I mean? My parents made it a point that we knew who God was. And growing up as a kid, of course I didn't want to do it. You know what I mean?
Bro, who wants to wake up?
Yeah, but as an adult, man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to know that my parents did that. I'm so happy that they did because, life can life sometimes. You know what I mean? Life be lifing sometimes. And if it wasn't for my parents teaching me foundation and understanding where you get your blessings from and where you can get through hard times with, you only can go through that with God, man. And I'm just happy that now as an adult, I understand why my parents did it. You know what I mean? Yep. And yeah, I'm blessed. And it's only right that no matter what I do today, that I continue to try and spread that love with everybody else. I'm not going to force no religion on anybody, but this is what got me through. You know what I mean? And I pray that one day you'll find your way through.
Yep. Find something.
Yeah.
Find something.
Who are some of your favorite like gospel artists?
Ooh, Smokey Norfolk. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Smokey Norfolk.
Sounds like you just made up that name.
No, Smokey Norfolk. I'm telling you right now, Smokey Norfolk is one of my favorite singers. He has like the voice that can you ever just run your finger down the piano like this? He can do every run like that. His runs are him, Jay Moss, Zacardi Cortez. Those are some like my top 3 probably right there. Sick. Yeah.
I'm a huge Kirk Franklin fan.
Kirk Franklin?
Yeah, just especially because like he finds a way to appeal to musicians too. Like,
yeah.
The arrangements are just disgusting.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Like, he doesn't even sing, but
he's been doing it for a while now, man.
Yep.
He's been doing it for a while. That guy still got it.
Yeah, and his tiny desk is sick.
Yeah, it is.
It's super sick. Mine is, you ever heard of Madison Ryan Ward?
Mm-mm.
She's like, I think she was a volleyball athlete in college and then ended up making music. And so I found her through like YouTube. Like she was like after practice and she like sang like a cover.
Oh, wow.
And then she released her first album. It was called New Thing. And then after listening, I didn't know that she was a Christian artist until you listen to it. And like that album itself is a perfect mixture of gospel and R&B. So if you ever have the chance, because even her vocals are insane.
Yeah.
Like it's giving Lauryn Hill. Like the tone is there, the soul is there, and then the whole album's just really good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite gospel.
What's her name?
Madison Ryan Ward.
Ryan Ward. Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta look her up.
It's super good. Yeah, it's actually probably one of my fave albums, either last year or even 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sick. What about you? Gospel artist.
I like
Molly's good.
yeah, Molly. Yeah. I really like Rage Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine, that's like my perfect Sunday service. Yeah. Some of those that burn crosses. Way to fucking call me out on that one. Huh?
I know.
It was quiet
I
on
was
this
even sitting
side.
here. I'm like, let me hear it. Let me hear what he's freaking listening to.
Yes, we'll be we're gonna be over there, yeah. Over there in the place. See you guys at the Island Fields. Yes, sir. It's High Water. We see you guys at Little Palace, May 31st for the Island Fields in the hills, and let's just jam them on. Yes, can't wait to see you guys.
Hafa Day Guam, it's your boy Johnny Sweet. I'm so excited to be heading your way on Saturday, May 31st. It's going down in just a couple months. Get your tickets at clutch-music.com to see your boy, them boys of Molokai, High Water, and a very, very special headliner being announced very soon. Again, get your tickets ASAP because it's gonna run low very soon, y'all. All right? It's just a couple months away. Saturday, May 31st. All right? Island Fields in the Hills is going down. Guam, can't wait to see you guys. Let's go.
Thank you for being my person. Your arms wide open, helping me to love.
So now we like doing games now to let the, flow in the
Time to
podcast and all of
win.
that. Time to win. Yeah, so today we have a karaoke game.
Oh, shoot.
So I'm gonna. I thought you're gonna win.
Not this one.
So I'm gonna sing like one line of the song,
Okay.
and then what we need from you is to complete the next couple lyrics, and then the artist and title.
Okay.
Yeah. So hopefully we got some
Oh,
songs
I
here,
suck at this.
and hopefully you know them. So here's the first one. Harmonies. I don't know.
I'm ready.
You mean to me what I mean to you, and together, baby, there ain't nothing you won't do.
Cause if I got you, I don't need money, I don't need cars, girl, you're my all. And oh, I'm into you,
And
girl,
girl,
no.
no.
What else to do with every kiss, every hug, you make me fall in love. And now, that's Chris Brown with you.
Yeah.
Oh, if we're doing Chris Brown, shoot, bring it on.
Yeah, no.
3 points, Gryffindor. Bang.
That's your OG too, right?
Yeah.
That's your OG. That's why I'm like, he's gonna for sure know this. We're gonna start with this one. Okay, next one. We can make it right, hit the city lights. Then tonight is a love and pain.
I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but that's Michael Jackson, PYT.
Ah, that
Get the
is-
chorus. Get the hook then.
Let me take you to the max.
I want to love you,
PYT.
pretty young thing. You need some loving.
Yeah.
TLC.
Yeah. You mess with Michael Jackson
You know why?
like that?
I do, but it's just I be mumbling words when it comes to those kind of songs.
No,
like
real.
I know the melody and I know, but I already knew I was gonna get the lyrics wrong.
No, real. Okay. Next one.
Do I get points for that one?
Half point, Gryffindor.
Half point.
Half. Okay, I got 1.5.
Maybe we should have Kiko sing one, right?
Oh, nah, you're good. Nah, you're good. Just you.
Yeah, you good, just you. No,
Okay.
fuck that. Here, we'll have you sing one. We'll have you sing one to test her.
Okay.
Hopefully you know it.
Okay, we'll just go to what the only thing he knows apparently.
Okay. I don't know this one.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I don't even know if he knows the cards.
I do know this one, but I don't know what part of the song this is.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
That's the
the point.
part.
Yeah.
-2, Gryffindor.
Okay, I'm ready with mine.
Here, no wait,
Yeah.
let him do one more.
Okay.
I'm the worst when it comes to this. Okay. Yeah, no, you should do it.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay.
I tell you, I'm a mumbler when it comes to lyrics and stuff like that. So like, I'm reading lyrics, I'm like, I don't know.
No, real. Okay. You don't believe his stories. You know that they're all lies. Bad as you are, you stick around, and I just don't know why.
If I was your mate, baby, you never worry about what I do. That's Mario.
Keep going, dude. Come on. I was about to harmonize with you.
Let him
I just
harmonize.
wanna show you you are. You should let me love you. Let me be the one.
10 points, Slytherin.
10 points for you.
3 points, Gryffindor.
Okay. That was a good. That is Mario. What's the title?
Let me love you.
Yeah. Okay.
4 points.
4 points, sure.
Yeah.
That's 7.5 if anyone's keeping track. Scoreboard.
Can't get over us, and I'm stronger than this. Yeah, enough is enough. No more walking around my head down.
I'm so over being blue, crying over you. And I'm so sick of love songs, so tired of tears.
Yep.
So that with wishing she was still here. That is Neo So Sick.
Yeah. See, no, I'm glad I picked these cards because I knew for sure you were
Yeah,
going to know them. But those cards, I don't even know.
You're just taking all the good cards.
Yeah. Maybe, okay, I got one more. I'm not sure if you know this one.
Okay, we'll see.
Turn up the bass, turn up the treble. If I take it to a whole nother level.
That's a Chris Brown song.
DJ, turn up what you're playing. I want the whole club to hear what I'm saying.
Is it, that's
40 points, Slytherin.
That's a
40 points,
That's a Chris
Slytherin.
Brown and T-Pain song.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some points. Best love song.
Yeah, best love song.
Yeah, no, it's my
Didn't even
points.
let him, yeah.
Oh, no, you're not playing this. Thank you, though.
Okay, yeah, that's. How about you give me one?
Yeah,
Okay,
come on.
sure.
I can't wait to hear this.
Here. Some of those that burn crosses are the same that run forces. What is that? I don't know. No, okay, I'll give you a real one.
That sounds like Star Wars, dog.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make the woman go mad.
Selena,
singing
singing
the
the
sound
sound
of
of
my
my body. I want to lie, you know my hips don't lie. I'm sounding the main. No, me too. I mumble lyrics.
Hips don't lie, Shakira. All right. Know you trying to leave, but excuse me, miss. I see the last dance for you. I would love to keep you here with me, oh baby.
I wanna be where you are, baby. You're so romantic, baby.
I can be.
-4, Hufflepuff.
But it's. Yo, excuse me, miss.
Yeah.
Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
-1,
yeah.
Hufflepuff. Sorry.
Well,
I didn't
almost. It's Yo, excuse me, Miss Chris Brown featuring FIA. Yeah.
Oh!
A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know
Surprise!
that, but I'm on the second verse. That was me on the triangle.
Yeah, that's the game.
That was
Unless
definitely-
Kiko got one more. Yeah, that's the game.
Okay, we'll put the scoreboard right here. Congratulations to the
I
winner.
won.
Drum roll, please. Slytherin, yes. I got you guys.
This is rigged.
I didn't even know you're a Harry Potter nerd. What? Okay, pick up your cards. You start this.
Okay. Karaoke game. No, just kidding. Oh, yeah. So you have, on Never Give Up, you have like several like really, really dope like collaborations on there, some
Yeah.
features. My personal favorite is the Threat one with
Caleb.
With Caleb.
Yeah.
What about you? Any of, not even just from that album, but like even if it's live collaborations or anything on a record.
Collaborations that I've done.
Yeah, favorite
My favorite one.
and also most impactful ones.
Okay. I would say my favorite one that I've done on my album Never Give Up was ROMG, Rock on My Guitar. So when I did with Marcus. Yeah. So Marcus is one of my good brothers from Nanakuli that we grew up in high school together. One of my good friends, and that was one of the fun tracks that I wrote back in like 2011, my senior year of high school. And to finally release it and do it with my brother, Marcus, is really cool. And as far as impactful ones, man, it was Oile. It's a song that I was featured on with Fiji and J-Bug.
Recent.
Yeah.
That's a recent one.
Like
yeah.
last year, just released last year. And that one was a sick one. It was that's just something I always wanted to have. You know what I mean? I've always wanted to do a song with Fiji. Always wanted to do a song with J-Bug. So Fiji hit me up with this track. He was like, bro, I want you on this song. I was mind blown. I was like, man, I finally get to do a track with a legend. You know what I mean? Like,
Uncle.
yeah. So I got to jump on the track, and then I found out later that Bugs jumped on it too. And I was like, man, 2 birds, 1 stone. You know what I mean? Like, I got to have both of them. So yeah, that was definitely one right there.
And so that one, like they approached you. When
Yeah.
you're deciding who you want to feature, how does that play in your mind?
Honestly, only recently I started to like really go into like wanting to do like collaborations with other artists. Nothing wrong with anyone else. It's just when I create stuff, I always create stuff to my own like understanding in mind, and then eventually, the more I listen to it, I feel like who would match on this track. Like if they was to actually have a verse. So that came about with the Threat one. When I did Threat, I already had that song. I wrote that song my junior year of high school, 2010. And I remember I recorded it in 2018 with Clandon. And we had the song already ready to release. And I remember they said Caleb heard it in the studio. And he was like, bro, that's a dope song. And I just shot my shot, bro. I was like, bro, would you be down at a verse? Bro, he said, yeah. I took my second verse out like that. I was like, oh, right here, bro, it's open verse. Yeah, yeah.
So did you let him write the second verse?
Yeah,
Okay.
he did everything, yeah, for the second verse.
So usually when you start creating music, are you like a write the lyrics first, a melody later, or are you like a melody first?
I'm a melody guy. So once I hear the beat or whatever rhythm you give me, I just go off with a whole bunch of melodies, like how I would approach it, and I'll figure out this sounds like a chorus. This sounds more of a verse. Or usually I'll just go off like doing a whole bunch of runs, like oversaturating, just making it crazy, just so I can see what's a lot and what's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'll usually come up with like crazy melodies, and once I find like this is a chorus one, then I'll find something to simplify the verse and make it match. You know what I mean? Like that's how I usually create, yeah. So my lyrics usually just come out, like if you look at my notes on my phone, if you look at any of the songs, a lot of them just has like 3 or 4 words.
Misspelled, all of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
For sure.
But I'll just like literally have those words and I'll just go off of them, whatever it leads me to after that, yeah.
Yeah. When did you write your first song?
When I was 7. I still remember when I was 7, I wrote a song for the church. Yeah.
Sing it.
I don't even remember it.
Dang, for the church too?
Yeah, I wrote a song for the church. I remember we sang it, the class got to learn it together and we sang it for the church, yeah.
Our God is an awesome God.
Oh, you heard that song? Bro, I didn't know you heard that song. Yeah, that's one of mine. Yeah.
Sort of minds.
So like when you are in that writing process, or even like live, do you have any like, I'll go ahead and use the word. Do you have any like rituals before recording or before going up on stage?
Definitely. It always starts off with a prayer. It has to. Usually, like even if before I go on the show, the crew knows 45 minutes before the show starts. I'll usually just lock out. You know what I mean? Like everything. Turn on some gospel music. Lock into some Smokey Norfolk, some Zacardi Cortez, and just listen to gospel and just kind of remind myself that I am only here because God allows me to do this. And I always try to make sure that it's not about me, because man, I'm a firm believer in Jesus Christ and being my Lord and Savior, and like where I am today is not because of my own understanding. I'm a sinner, just like everyone else. Every day we try to be better. You just try to be better than yesterday, but as long as you keep Him as your forefront, So like every time before I touch the stage, I just want to make sure that I'm locking in with Him and making sure that whatever I do on stage, it represents Him and His love for people, and that whenever people hear me sing, I want them to feel the love. You know what I mean? And whenever I get a chance on stage, I know I always want to make it a point to say that, that God is everything, and He allows me to do this, and He's the only reason why I'm here today. So yeah.
That's so beautiful. Even in this industry and in this game, there's egos and there's pride,
for sure.
and that's hard to escape. And has your faith kept you from just
yes. Oh yeah. I just recently, maybe in the last 2 years, I started really getting back heavy into my word. You know what I mean? When I was talking about me going through my depression like a few years ago, when I first got into the industry, and I've always been this type of person, and one thing about me, when I love hard, man. Like if I call you my brother or my sister, like we locked in. And that's why I get hurt really bad when sometimes, in this industry, when I first came into this industry, I got taken advantage of a lot. And it really put me in a hole where, like, my family, like, kind of lost me as a person, as a dad, as a husband. My family got to see that side of me. And to this day, just thinking about it really hurts. Because I know I'm not that type of person. But the music industry really took that from me. And in these last 2 years, I just try to make sure I try to get locked into His word again, because I got to be the best father I can. I got to be the best husband I can for my wife and lead by example. And if it wasn't for me really getting back into God's word, man, I don't think I would be here right now, in this state of mind. And that was the start of everything, like with my journey on my weight loss. I don't know if I used to weigh like 320 pounds. I was big before. Yeah. And all that had to do with just me being depressed. I didn't want to do anything. Like I was just doing shows. I remember about 2-3 years ago going on stage and just couldn't wait till the set was finished. And I just sang one song. Like, I got to that point. And for the fact that I can think of it now and think like that, I can't believe I got to that point. Like where music was miserable for me, man. Like it got to a point where I can't believe I'm touching the stage and I don't even want to be here. And it was just a paycheck. I'm just trying to get some money. But I'm just blessed to say now when I take the stage, man, that's why I give it to God. Because He brought me back, to loving it again. And I want to make sure I honor Him in everything that I do. So
I'm a firm believer in like when you feel like someone or something is just using you and draining your energy, you just have to find a way to switch it around, and you use that to get back to where you need to be.
Yeah.
Like you needed to get out of a rut. Instead of music weighing you down and it using you just for clout or for audience, for some people using you for money, you use that music then to get back. And I'm getting happy out of this now.
Yeah.
And it's just, sometimes it's just a little flip of the switch. It's a mindset thing. Yeah.
For me, it was just doing like I said, it was just locking into going back to when the first day I released music. You know what I mean? My first song I ever released, the feeling of having that first song out. I lost it for a while. You know what I mean? Now I just started releasing music just because I had to release songs. Like, I'm an artist. But now, like, moving forward, like, with my life, it's just enjoying every step. You know what I mean? Not taking every day for granted. Like, a lot of people take it for granted. Just waking up today. Like, we got to open our eyes today. Mm-hmm. That's one thing to be thankful for. There's some people out there who can't say the same. Mm-hmm. And just doing things to make sure you do better than what you did yesterday. Trying to be a better person. You know, we're not perfect, of course.
For sure.
But the impact we leave on other people's lives, you know, just being a good person, being genuine, you know what I mean? Like, I locked in with you guys, too, because you guys are good people, you know what I mean? And I don't mind giving my energy there. And that's what I learned throughout my time doing the music is who to give my energy to. Because I know that's what put me in a hole for a long time was I try to be nice to everybody, even though they were spitting on me. Mm-hmm. And my family was getting the bad side of it. Because when I would go home, I feeling like, oh, this, you know, and now my kids are getting the grouchy side because that's how I've been treated out in the game, you know? And I learned to reverse it. I'm going to give my family that time, that energy. And when I'm out, don't take it in the disrespectful way, but if you're taking up my energy, you're gonna know. Like, I won't be paying too much attention to you, to be honest.
And you really have to pick and choose.
Yeah, for sure. Just being around genuine people, you know what I mean? And understanding who to give your time to, for sure.
For sure, yeah. And understanding is the hard part. Understanding is where it's
like I said, for me, I've always, like, I'm a good person. You know, I like to say I'm a good person. I like to be the type of person that whenever you see me, the vibe is always going to be right. And I always carried that. And then just along the way, you know, I gave it to everybody. And it was hard, you know, it was like it drained me of my energy for a very long time. So it's good to be in a place where I understand that. And it's not saying that I'm going to be bad to certain people. It's just, I know who to give my time to. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's so glad to hear that because even when you did the Valentine's show here in Guam, and the show was so fun. Yeah. And you could tell all of you and your band was having so much fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a really good show.
The best part for me about that show was having my Guam boys here, back home.
5 points, Gryffindor.
I win. No, but having Cam, Kanata, you know what I mean? And then Nathan Titano. And then, of course, Zach.
Yeah, Zach jumped on.
So Zach was on my first tour. Well, not my first tour, but my tour with The Green. He played bass for me on that tour.
Yeah.
And Ellie Mack,
Yeah. And so, like, just anytime that I can bring someone who's in the group back to their homeland and do something like that in the front of your people, I want you to represent. I want you to be proud of where you are in life and show these people, like, and one thing I can say this from the bottom of my heart, those boys represent Guam to the fullest. I'm talking about their hearts are pure. They're good boys. Like, they're really good people. They're genuine and they're hard workers. And that's what I love about my Chamorro boys, man. Like, I love having them around me. You know what I mean? They push me to be better. You know what I mean? They're always on top of everything. And when I come to Guam, every time I'm here, the people, I can see where they get it from. You guys, people are just like my people back at home. You know what I mean? The vibes, you know, just having that aloha spirit. That's what I love about that. And I'm proud to have these Chamorro boys on my squad, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? So everywhere I go, man, we represent.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's so
Absolutely.
sick. Yeah. So, like, what is your favorite part about, like, performing live?
While we do this, we wanted you to be able to try all of this.
Oh yeah, let's get it. Perfect.
Stuff. So yeah, dip it in your coffee. Okay, favorite stuff about performing live.
Performing live would have to be just being able to see and witness a lot of the people sing the songs that I've written in my bedroom. Like being able to, you know what I mean? These songs, like one day I was just in a room and I came up with an idea.
Yeah.
And the fact that I drop it, like for example, Love Me. Mm-hmm. That song was never supposed to be released.
Oh,
Love Me was a track that was never supposed to be released. So my career took off faster than we expected. Like we had a whole game plan of like where we see ourselves in 5 years, 10 years. You know what I mean? That whole game plan. And when I released my first song in April, come around, and then Love Me in July of 2018, I already toured. I was doing a tour with Rebel Soldiers. I toured New Zealand in that same year. Everything took off faster than I expected. So home wasn't ready for that. My kids, you know, my wife, weren't ready for that. I was already out and about doing these shows. And but before I released Love Me, I was just making that song so my wife could have a song to listen to remind us of why we do this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm out here doing this, but this is a song that we can always listen to when we go through our hard times. Wow. And the guy who invested into my project, Ray Pulu, shout out to my brother Ray Pulu, he heard the song that I recorded. I would send him all the tracks that, every time I do it in the studio. And he heard Love Me. He's like, bro, you got to release this. I was like, nah, it's just for my wife, bro. Like,
Smart man.
Smart man.
Yeah, and to be honest, like, that became the staple of my career, like, that song. And
So far. Hold on. Let's say so far.
So far.
And I believe it became that because that song really came from the heart. Like, I wasn't trying to make a hit song.
Yeah.
I was just trying to write from the heart and tell my wife, like, let's sit down, wind down, speak of all the reasons why we stick around, like why we do what we do. Like, it was a reminder for us.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much it could impact others, their lives, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it was in their relationship or going through a hard time, just reminding them that, like, you gotta find your reasons. And
Yeah, and with Love Me, you achieved something that every artist wants to do. Like that is a timeless song.
Yeah.
Like that's one of those songs where, like, for the rest of our lives, Love Me is gonna be around, and everyone's
crazy.
gonna love that.
Me and my
song.
wife were just talking about that on the beach, at Doucet, because we were just chilling on the beach, and then they started playing it at the bar.
Yeah.
It was playing on the radio, and then I just looked at my wife. I was like, the fact that there's a song playing right now, and the song is written about you, and I'm singing it, and it's known around the world. Man, God is good, man.
God is good.
God is so good. Like, that's crazy. This allows me to do what I do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't work a regular 9 to 5. Like, my wife gets to do what she wants. We get to be there to watch our kids grow. Like, man, God is so good.
Yeah.
I couldn't ask for a better life. I'm just blessed.
For real.
Shout out, sis. Hope you're enjoying your face massage right now.
Yeah, right?
Oh my God.
Like this. Let's see this.
Have you tried that before?
No, but anything with macadamia nuts is my favorite.
So good. We got you a couple for the kids too.
He's trying the
Oh, yeah,
chip
for my
cookies.
kids. Yeah. Oh, these are good.
Yeah.
Some coffee.
Dude, yeah.
Chamorro chip.
Yeah. Those are like, even everyone who comes here, they just love those cookies.
Bro, these are, you just dump them right in the fridge.
Yep.
Yeah. Even that there's a crazy thing too, and I think one time on Instagram, because Pia Mia's from Guam.
I heard, yeah.
Yeah, and so she was friends with like Kylie Jenner, and like one day she posted like a picture of these cookies on the
That's
Instagram
sick.
stories, and we were like, what?
I remember when Pia Mia first started following me, I was like, yo, you want to cover Love Me? Or, go ahead.
Oh, you did it for Boog.
That's
you can't
what I'm
do it
saying.
for
Like,
me.
come on, dog. Help me out, bro.
But even coming, so this is your 4th time here in Guam,
Yeah.
and this career has blessed you to like travel to so many different places. What has been like one of your favorite shows,
Shows,
or like even trips?
being to New Zealand, of course. I love going to New Zealand and Guam.
He just
I'm
loves
not
meat
just
pies.
saying
He
that.
just loves meat pies.
I do love the
bro.
meat pies.
And the deli.
And
The deli.
Everything over there in New Zealand is amazing. But if I had to pick, my favorite places is Guam and New Zealand.
Dude, oh yeah!
I'm not joking. Every chance I get to come out here, like when people hit me up in email, once I see Guam, I'm like, oh. All right, what we talking? I'm trying to get back, dog. For real, I really love this place. Like I said, it's my home away from home. Like when I first moved from Cali to Hawaii, what I remember in my childhood growing up in Hawaii is this right here, the way the people are here. I'm not saying it's not like that at home. It's just, it is a little different now back home in Hawaii. But this is what Guam reminds me of. It just reminds me of my childhood in Hawaii growing up.
Yeah.
The way the people are. Like I can walk around and people, the way they talk to each other, like, oh, par, like the vibe, bro. You hear them do like, hey, par, for real. But it's the vibe, bro. Like I love the vibe here.
Yeah.
And that's why I made it a point to make sure my wife came on this one. And she's obviously loving it. She just left me.
Yeah.
She's out there, yeah.
She's like, go ahead,
Yeah, right.
do your thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my face massage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, speaking of like this reminding you of home, being back home, like, do you feel, or not even being home, because you're not mainly doing this in Hawaii anymore. This is like an international thing. But do you feel like you're representing your home, and like is that really important to you?
It's very important. I mean, first and foremost, I try to make sure I represent my last name. You know what I mean? I come from a big family, and one thing about my parents is they always raise us on being respectful and, being kind to others. And everywhere I go, I carry that last name on my back. You know what I mean? Like, I want to make sure I represent my people well. And being with that, I want to make sure I represent my community well. I already mentioned how like our community isn't really known as being one of the nicest places on the island, but I want to show that there is good people. You know what I mean? And if I can use that with my platform, you know, having this platform, I want to be able to shine that light upon everybody that where I come from, and making them proud of, you know.
Yeah. And like also like being a father and raising a family, do you feel like a sense of responsibility and like, you know, inspiring the next generation of artists?
For sure. You know, like I got 4 kids, and one thing I want to continue to teach them is the same thing my parents teach me. Is the same thing my parents taught me was to keep God first and just do right. Do right. Be right. Do right on others. You know what I mean? The world can be, you know, crazy at times, but be humble. You know, I try to teach my kids that, and I want to make sure I do that back at home, because who am I to go and tell other people how to act and be if I can't even do it at home? I want to make sure my kids walk around with that same respect. Like, don't be going out acting a fool. You know what I mean? Be good to others. Be nice.
For sure.
You know, don't let the world change who you are. If they're gonna be ugly, then let them be ugly.
Let them be ugly.
At the end of the day, you get to go home and sleep well, knowing that you did right on people. You know, no matter what.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, with that, because there is so much ugliness in the industry.
Oh yeah, I mean in this world, period, man. You know what I mean, there's a lot of ugly in this world, you know.
But what about in like the music industry? What are some of those like challenges that it's just such a hard workaround, or even like just dealing with people that really think they know what's best for you, and then it just doesn't.
I think it was just, for me, it's like it's knowing your business side of things, but never letting the business things take over of who you are as a person. You know what I mean? You always got to make sure your business side is right, and make sure the numbers are right, of course, you know? But when you let that be the drive and the motivation to what you're doing, you'll lose sight of what you're trying to do. Because when the money's not right, then you're not going to act right. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're right regardless of the situation. And if you're not happy with what the outcome was, then you didn't do it with the right intentions.
Yeah, know your worth.
Know your worth. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, because it's so clear your morals and your values and like where you stand.
Yeah.
And just being kind and just being a good person. And you know, with this life, there comes seasons.
Oh yeah.
You got ups and you got low and you got downs.
Yeah.
And sometimes the downs, like you said, is just so far.
They're hard to
down. Yeah. And when you're like, when you're in those low seasons, like what do you do to get back into like your faith and like being back with God and realizing that you strayed kind of far away?
For me, it's I know when I'm in that situation of in my lows, like at the lowest, I know it's because I'm not in my word. I know it's because I'm not reading my word. I know it's because I'm not taking the relationship serious with God, right? And because I'm human, because all of us, we're human, we want to do it with ourselves. I can handle this, I can do this. Then you catch yourself in a hole trying to figure out why you're stuck in this hole. And there's times where I'm just stubborn. I don't want to see the bright side of it. I want to be mad. I want to be upset because you did me wrong. And I noticed that I'm only allowing that person's ways to hurt me. And he's living rent-free over here. You know what I mean? Like, what's the sense? So I got to remind myself, like, I really got to push myself. You know, like, get out of it. Get in your word. Talk to God. Sit one-on-one with him. Tell him to open your heart. You know, and I sit there. I make sure, like, God, help me, man. Like, I don't want to feel like this already. Like, help me out of this. And when I notice, every time I do it, not once has he failed me. Not once. Like, every time I decide to go back, I'm opening. I feel free. And then I catch myself thinking to myself, you already knew that. But you just get stuck in your stubborn ways sometimes. You don't want to see, but like I said, when the world's ugly, try not to let that make you ugly, you know?
It's clear that he's on your side right now. Like, you're up. You're out playing all these great shows. You just did One Love.
Yeah.
We did One Love in Australia. No, New Zealand. I mean, that was
sick.
Yeah, you had your own. You also went on a separate tour in New Zealand. Yep. That seemed awesome.
It was great.
What's next for you? What's 2025 bring in for FIA?
2025. So right after this, I have a break for a little bit, and then I got April. I'm going to Japan. I'm doing a tour in Japan.
Have you ever been?
This is gonna be my first time.
Dude, no.
First time to Japan. Yeah, I got it's for the AFE, the Armed Forces tour.
Yeah.
With the military bases. Yeah, so I'm excited to do that. Me and my wife's gonna go check out Japan for the first time with the crew. Got all the boys going with me too. So yeah, we're excited for that, man.
Yeah. We'll be there for a day on the way back from Nashville at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we
that's
love Japan.
like one of the best things of Guam. Like Japan is like what 3 hours away from us, 4
Yeah, I
5.
know.
Yeah.
3.5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky.
That's so
Have
exciting.
you guys
How
ever been to
April?
Disneyland there?
Yeah. We went there.
Yeah,
we
me too.
went there one. I went there. I didn't get to go to Disney Sea, but I did go to like Disneyland because I
Yeah.
heard like Disney Sea is like the more like adult friendly. Like the rides are like crazier, right, compared to Disneyland.
I've never been. Yeah.
Yeah. How long are you in Japan for?
April 1st to April 15th.
Ooh.
It's like a 2 week. We got 7 shows in those 2 weeks, and then come back for a little bit, and then we do the Holo Holo Las Vegas.
Sick.
That's speaking of Holo Holo Las Vegas. That's where we first met.
Yeah,
Yeah, last year.
that's on my birthday too.
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't wish you happy birthday. My
Thank
bad.
you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
When is your birthday?
April 26th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We met at Holo Holo Vegas.
Yeah.
And then you literally like came to Guam like a month and a half later.
Yep,
And
right
then I was like,
after.
hey, we met before.
Yep.
What's up? Who's-"
That's right.
Yeah.
And then we got to kick it at the Kind on the tour.
Yeah. And then we went
It's
on
all just
tour.
like literally all back to back.
And then just last
Yeah,
month.
so
we
yeah, I
were-
have been seeing you everywhere.
I know. Fuck.
Gosh.
Tired of it, right?
Yeah.
Heard that. Heard
No,
that.
this guy was sitting in the back of Sammy Els. Shout out Sammy Els.
Yeah.
He was driving us around in his small car, and we had
Oh, yeah.
Elijah. So Elias was in the front seat, big boy. Not
Yeah.
as big, but then Elijah's in the back seat
Elijah's
with
in the
his
back
wife.
with Kiko.
Kiko
my
and
wife.
Becca was in the middle.
Yeah, my wife, Becca,
Yeah.
Elijah's wife, and then I was in the back.
In the trunk.
Like,
My
this.
turn.
I was like this. And it was funny because usually Elias was always the one that had to do that. And I felt real because I was like, damn, I'm the smallest one. All right, guys, I got the bet.
I mean, I was there. I was just like, guys, I get car sick. I'm good.
Yeah.
You go, Fia. You got him.
It was funny because Elias went to go in first. As soon as I offered, I was like, oh, I'll go in the back. Bro, Elias was like, oh, you sure? Okay, sure. Bro.
All of that for some freaking food, huh?
Yeah.
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 Those are good, too.
Oh, man. Me and Elias ate right before. Shit.
Oh, you guys didn't eat over there? At Choices? That night we ate?
No. Yeah, we had
You guys missed out.
Yeah, we had the buffet before. We had kangaroo and like ostrich for dinner. It was pretty good.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
It was pretty crazy.
Kangaroo and ostrich.
Yep.
That's not illegal.
No, that was his name. No, we really did eat kangaroo and ostrich. So.
Sassy.
Oh my goodness.
But you know what though, we just want to say thank you so much for like just sitting down with us and
of
chatting with us. But no, that's all of it for the music questions. But maybe before we leave, we got like some fun personal questions. Like if you weren't doing music,
Yeah.
what would you be doing? Like what would you do for a career, for a living?
Definitely not pro golfer. I've seen him swing.
Oh, golf. Nah, I'll probably lose my temper out there. Nah, honestly, I don't know. Music has always been the thing. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't have a backup plan. Like this was literally what I was going for. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I really didn't have a plan B. So it was either this or back in the hood, baby. Back in the hood.
You can't say
baby.
back in the hood. You can't say back in the hood and then do the eyebrow thing.
Back in the hood.
Okay, so if you could only imagine yourself doing music, what are you listening to right now? Like what's on the playlist?
Right now, I'm on top of the Fee Joint. Fee Joint. They're from New Zealand.
Oh.
So they went on stage right after I got off. And that was my first time hearing them live. They have Lomas Brown and some other, my boy Folau and all of them. They're a group. And the Village 90 Boys, they said like a lot of the guys who were on that stage, like the musicians were their OGs and stuff. So that was my first time hearing them live.
Yeah.
And I just got stuck, like watching them perform. Like, man, those boys can play, they can sing. And I've been stuck on their music for, like, since I got back from New Zealand. Like, that's all I've been listening to.
Ever since I came back, I've been telling her the musicians and the singers in New Zealand are just
They're gifted, man.
holy.
I mean, that's the only one of the only places I know, or other than even here, Guam. I noticed when you sing something and you know the song, they'll sing in harmony.
I think your ears are tripping. No, just kidding.
Over here, I've heard
Sometimes, yeah.
Like
actually,
sometimes.
I just did it at the school. That's why. What I'm saying is, I did it at the school at GW.
Yeah, GW. Yeah.
Went over there and I went to go sing a song, and I started singing the song, and they all started singing in harmony. I was like, "Yo, that's pretty
Hey,
bad, dude.
that's
sick."
sick.
Come to my family, no better. You'll want to get out of here quick.
But yeah, like New Zealand, being out in New Zealand, man, just like when you sing a note and you just let them sing it, like they sing in harmony. It's like,
Yeah, that one's crazy.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
like 40,000 people.
Yeah, just singing in harmony.
Holy shit.
How about any R&B artists
As far as who,
that you're listening to like right now?
oh, Chris Brown.
Chris Brown always.
Chris Brown always.
He just won his Grammy too.
Yeah, we
Best
just
R&B
want, yeah,
album.
we just want our
yeah.
Grammy.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Period. Congrats.
It was hard work, man. Hard work. But we
I
did
bet.
it. We did it, Chris. We did it.
But you know what? We just want to say thank you so much for sitting down with her, and we're just so grateful that we can really call you a friend.
Yeah.
And we're just so grateful that you're here on Guam and sharing your talents, and it's just so fun.
Yeah, feelings mutual, man. I appreciate you guys having me here. Of course, it's good to catch up just like this.
Yes, sir.
And thank you guys for having me on this,
Yeah.
man, for real.
Where can our listeners find you? Your socials.
You can go on Instagram, Facebook. I think I have a Twitter. At the artist FIA, at the artist FIA. And
Yeah.
you can check out my music too, FIA, FIA.
FIA, aka Chris Brown, aka Country Brown now.
Yeah,
Yep.
Country Browns.
Country
3
Browns.
eggs,
Yeah.
white toast.
Yo,
Yes.
white toast,
3 eggs,
fried
white
rice.
toast.
3 eggs
yeah.
and white toast with
Yeah.
fried rice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Love
I
you, bro.
appreciate you, brother. Love you.
Dream State.
Yes, God.